Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, dear author and invited guest. Welcome to the technical session 5C. I'm Harsh Soni, moderator of this session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and Knowledge Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 7th International Conference of for ICT and ICT for Sustainable and Development through Zoom. I hope this session was going to informative enough for you. And there's a special note for the presenters that you will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. In 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder to conclude your presentation. And there's another request to all that you may please stay connected with us until the closing remarks. And if you have any query or any suggestion or any update, you can write it down to me in the chat box. And just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair for the session, Professor Tanupriya Chaudhary. Uh, Dr. Tanupriya Chaudhary is working as an associate professor in Department of Computer Science and Education at University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun. He has 10 years of experience in teaching as well as in research. His areas of interest include human computing, soft computing, cloud computing, data mining, and many more. Moreover, he is a lifetime member of IETA, a member of IEEE, and a member of IET UK and other renowned technical societies. He is holding the post of secretary in IETA, that means Indian Engineering Teachers Association in India. He is also holding the advisor position in Indo-UK Conference, Confederation of Science, Technology and Research Limited, London, and International Association of Professional and Fellow Engineers, Delaware, USA. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. We may start then.
Okay, and now I would like to introduce our first presenter, B. Pratap Kumar, and he's presenting on the screening of an somnolence using body sensor to predict vital measurements. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
So, am I audible?
Now you're audible. Please start.
Yes, sir. Today topic is about description of insomnance using body sensors to predict vital measurements. Coming to the abstract, in present situation, most of the people are suffering from insomnia due to the stress, and sleeping has been impact on the mental health. The meditation treatment for this illness cause many side effects. Further, this leads to the anxiety and the depression. It affects the performance of the user who is currently experiencing the insomnia, resulting in adverse condition. This leads to the accidents. This proposed work mainly is discussed to the non-pharmacological approach to that reduce and provides a better sleep, which reduces the side effects and implements the better sleep. Coming to the introduction. Insomnia is the most common sleeping disorder, which is difficult to fall and remain the sleep. Nowadays, in the early morning, is sleeping inertia, which is a natural component of the walking process. Insomnia is a common health problem in the medical field as well as in psychiatry. Insomnias are more likely to suffer from heart disease.
Interrupt. Please keep it in mind that 8 minutes and still you are now in the first page of your slide. And your slide is not moving. If you are moving, but we can't see that. Go ahead.
Body sensors are the new technology that allows for the long-term biosensors monitoring by non-interfacing with person's routine works. Electronic sensors are rapidly improving to allow the IoT health telemonitoring, which should meet the above standards. Development of the embedded system for the centralized insomnia systems. The rapid process of electronic sensors to support the IoT in health telemonitoring should provide above requirements. The implement of any time and anywhere concept could give the freedom and manifesting of clinical and non-clinical data continuously for patient with chronic insomnia. IoT nest literacy. IoT of the things below detecting sleeping quality. Insomnia refers to the inability to sleep normally, which affects the quality of the sleep. Usually refers to the patient's subjective experience of the dissatisfaction with sleep and or quality affecting daytime life and the rest. No, next title of the paper: novel flexible material, an abstractive or wearable body sensors which vital sign of monitoring. The aging population combined with the increased prevalence of the chronic diseases are becoming significant social economic burdens of for present day society. Besides this, the accompanying costs are increased rapidly in the terms of prescription drugs and medical instrument, hospital care, and so on. Retrieving health and data using secure IoT cloud platform. Over the past years, the interest in the wearable sensors has been raised, and now they are available in individual monitoring, wellness, and activity awareness. Small sensors are the popular, or they are not interface with the patient developments and more ability. Coming to the methodology. This system design was split into two parts, hardware and the software. The first step was to choose advocate sensors. The sensor's eye movement is detected using eye blink sensor. The eye blink sensor is based on the interfered technology. As per the eye blinks, the variation throughout the eye will be changed. If the eye is closed, the output is high, and otherwise the output will be low. This determines whether the eye is shutting or opening. Arduino. The Arduino IDE software and the embedded C program make up the second section. The zero PCB board
Again, sorry to interrupt. Please come to your work. Is it a research paper or is it a review paper? Which one you have done?
research papers.
Okay, rather than giving the introduction about Arduino or what actually it is, come to your work. Directly come to your work. And Harsh, can you please see his screen? Can you please confirm, Harsh?
Yes, sir. Actually, I see his first slide actually.
Same here. That's why, na. That's the issue. But no worries. The student and the scholar of the presentations, please carry on and kindly come to your work. What actually you have done.
Yeah, okay. So the expected result of the screening of insomniacs using the body sensors, which are ability to predict and virtual measurements should be defined from IR sensors which predict the eye blink movement of the user. It is important to keep track on your sleep status and the quality in order to better understand your health and to prevent sleep disorder. The system determines whether you are having healthy sleep or with the IR sensors node and see. The system can be detect whether person. Insomnia is a common health problem in the medical field as well as the psychiatry. Insomnia are the more likely to suffer from the heart diseases and even exclusive blood pressure. Body sensors are new technologies that allow long-term biosensors by monitoring, interfacing with the person routine works. Electronic sensors are the rapidly improving allow to IoT in health telemonitoring, which should be the meet the above standards. The system detects the eye blink or detected using the sensors and send that information to the cloud platform, which sends a SMS to the higher authorities.
Pratap, sorry to interrupt you, but please conclude your presentation as we have other presentation as well.
Yes.
Bharat, there is a query, no issues that you have not completed on time, no issues on that. Can you please tell us that what is the basic cost of the system?
The basic cost of the system is around 2K.
Have you finalized it? Have you chalked it out that what are the components cost and how the cost is coming out?
Yes, sir.
And by the help of the EEG, how do you making the accuracy? Means what are the accuracy parameters?
Accuracy parameters.
Please check it out. These parameters also. Otherwise, the accuracy of the system will not be good if you are not counting the accuracy part also. That's the point. And moreover, can you please tell us that what do you mean by EEG signal?
Also,
Am I audible to you?
yes, sir. Yes.
I am asking you what do you mean by EEG? What is the full form of that?
Electroencephalography.
And how the data you are interpreting with your software and all?
Using Arduino software. Sir.
What type of data set actually you have used? Okay, Bharat, keep these points on mind that in coming future, when you'll be doing this type of research, kindly go through these points.
Thank you, Pratap. And now moving forward for our next presentation.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sir,
Dhanush.
Sir, frequency signals.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, now moving for our next presenter is K. Dhanush, and he's presenting on B-shooter EEG signal analysis for stress monitoring using bionic sensor. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
So is my screen visible?
Yes, visible.
Yes,
visible.
yes.
Okay. Good evening all. My name is Dhanush. Today, now I am going to present about distributed EEG signal analysis for stress monitoring using bionic sensors. Stress response allows the body to overcome the obstacles stress has long measured through physical tests. The stress novel stress sensing devices focuses on cortisol sweat
Dhanush, we
sensing.
cannot hear you properly. Actually, the background voice is so loud.
Oh, sorry. Turn off the fan. Is it clear now, sir?
Yes, it is.
Novel stress sensing devices focuses on cortisol sweat sensing as a part of wearable flexible devices. These devices promise a real-time, continuous collection of stress data that can be used in clinical diagnosis. The objective is to provide a comprehensive review of stress, means what causes stress, the work pressure, the physical activity, etc. Using this, we can easily measure a person's stress continuously with our software. past few years, a lot of research have been done on stress monitoring, uh, which is a fact that feelings are present in many situations where humans are involved. Stress is often defined as a body reaction to a perceived mental, emotional, or physical distress. In fact, every psychologist have problem agreeing on what is considered an emotion and also how many types of emotion exist. The most well-known theory represents emotion in 2 or 3 dimensional spaces originating from cognitive theories. We can measure stress using some sensors and do things to make it better feel. The methodology we use is a heartbeat sensor connected with an Arduino and connected to the software, which produces a delay every 2 to 3 seconds, monitoring the heartbeat of a person every 2 to 3 seconds. Then it will combine the data with the previously measured data, and if the data is uh, uh, heartbeats is more compared to the previous, it will raise an alarm beeping sound, which shows that you are experiencing more stress. Then it will ask us to take a break of 2 to 3 minutes. This is a block diagram, proposed model. This the ECG sensor are placed on the body of a person, which collects the data, and this data is sent for feature extraction. Then it will be combined with the previously collected data or daily collecting data. Then it will be combined and gives us the accurate stress level which we are experiencing. If the now we are experiencing more stress than the means stress, then it will raise an alarm to take breaks. Software we use it software use it. We have taken Proteus software for our project. The Proteus design suite is a software tool suite used primarily for electronic design automation. Schematic capture in the Proteus design suite is used for both the simulation of design and as design phase of a PCB layout project. These are the results. Heartbeat.
Dhanush, same question for you also. How
Sir?
the accuracy have used?
Accuracy, sir.
Yeah.
Accuracy means
Accuracy means what are the accuracy parameters? Precision, recall, any parameters you have used or not to check the accuracy? If the heartbeat is going fine or not, how can you measure that?
so you can using a bionic sensor.
Automatically, but you have to check the accuracies also. If the details are coming automatically, then you have to check that
Yes, sir.
details are coming manually, and manually the accuracies are coming near about same or not. Then only your method will be justified.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you have done a very good job. There is no issues in that. But the research, if you want to pursue these type of work, you have to check.
Yes, sir. I understood.
Yeah. Otherwise, your work is as good as the last presenter was shown. Tech background and very good work. Thank you. No comments from this side more.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dhanush. And moving for our next presentation. Our next presenter is Pawan Kumar Saini, and he's presenting on the influence of tacit knowledge sharing on skill development of employees in engineering organizations. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pawan, you're audible.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly delighted to be presenting my research paper in front of all of you. The title is Influence of Tacit Knowledge Sharing on Skill Development of Employees in Engineering Organizations. The contents roughly will be covering as per the slide. Now, the markets are in a volatile state and everything, including the competition, is shifting. Employee participation, both willing and active, will really determine the effectiveness of knowledge management methods. A key element that we researched is around the impact of sharing tacit knowledge. This research will help people from the industry to apply the findings of this research. There are two types of knowledge, explicit and tacit, lying at the two ends of a continuum. While explicit knowledge is all that can be shared through written, audio, or visual forms, tacit knowledge is something that can be shared only in person. One can comfortably say that explicit knowledge is visible, while tacit knowledge is invisible. Researchers have shared how tacit knowledge appreciates in value when used and shared, and that it is a key resource to face competition or tackle competition. They also talked about how tacit knowledge is all about sharing knowledge by building social relationships. The sharing of tacit knowledge happens when the person is willing to share and learn about it. So tacit knowledge creates value when it is shared with others or acquired from others. The purpose of this study is to understand the impact of tacit knowledge sharing on building the skills of employees. Other researchers have done similar studies. However, it has not been studied with respect to engineering industries. From the literature review, it is seen that organizations need researchers to put in efforts in the direction of understanding the impact of tacit knowledge sharing so that knowledge sharing aspect can be leveraged. It is important to see whether tacit knowledge sharing can help build skills. Researchers have spoken about tacit knowledge as being a key differentiator to face competition, and so research in this area will definitely help businesses to overcome competition. There are very few studies that have been done that have focused on the relationship between knowledge sharing and skill development in engineering organizations. So knowledge sharing, we can say, can be divided into two categories, donating and collecting. Knowledge sharing entails a willingness to learn, integrate, and use new information. This new understanding is subsequently put to good use for the organization. Knowledge donation, or bringing knowledge into conversations, and knowledge collection, or getting knowledge from others, are both part of the knowledge sharing process. There are two forms, on the other hand, there are two forms of skill growth that we evaluated. One is personal skills, which are human abilities such as learning agility, emotional intelligence, creativity, managing stress. And on the other hand, the professional skills, which constitute problem-solving skills, project management, creativity, etc. Based on our findings, we believe that knowledge donation and collection on the one hand and professional and personal skill development on the other have a good link. The following are the hypotheses that we present. Knowledge donating positively influences both professional skill development as well as personal skill development. Similarly, knowledge collecting also positively influences professional skill development and personal skill development. We should also expect that when we obtain knowledge from others, we will be driven to share it with others. As a result, the hypothesis that we want to propose further is knowledge collecting positively influences knowledge donating. And furthermore, we believe that when personal skills improve, one's professional skills would also improve. So we propose that personal skill development positively influences professional skill development as well. Data was collected using the online questionnaire, contacting participants from about 52 engineering industries. 250 responses were received. The constructs were measured using a 5-point Likert scale. Items used in the instrument have already been tested by other researchers. So the Cronbach alpha value for the 4 constructs were more than
To interrupt,
0.73.
I just want to know what are the queries you have asked in your form. What are the questions?
I'm just coming to that.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. And of course, the research methodology, the demographics, I will not go through it. One can just see it on the slide. So it is largely organizations with more than 1,000 crores of turnover and a large population size of 1,500 employees was the larger chunk of the demographics. Yeah, the questions that you wanted to ask. So these were the questions that we have asked related to the 4 constructs. So here we see the items that constitute the 4 constructs, and to establish the validity of the defined constructs, the principal access factoring extraction method with Varimax rotation was used. 23 items were kept out of the 25 items that we had first selected, with a final eigenvalue of about 53.77. So factor loading for most of the items is more than 0.5. For the assessment of the measurement model, we use the AMOS software to determine the overall fit of the hypothesized model. Fit indices were found acceptable using confirmatory factor analysis, and convergent and discriminant validity is also supported. Further from the assessment of the structural model, we see that the critical ratio is larger than 1.96, indicating that the hypothesis is supported. We see that knowledge collecting significantly influences personal and professional skill development, and also the knowledge donating behavior. We also see that the personal skill development strongly impacts the professional skill development. However, we see that knowledge donating does not have a very significant impact on personal and professional skill development of the individual. And that, I think, in a way is expected, as the skill developed largely from gaining knowledge rather than from donating it. So overall, we can conclude that the sharing significantly influences the skill development. And from the research, we see that tacit knowledge sharing is dependent on a social activity flowing among the organizational members. Knowledge sharing creates opportunities for personal and professional skill development. Study shows that knowledge sharing has a favorable impact on skill development, and engineering organizations should foster a culture of knowledge sharing in order to grow. Various skills get developed, like negotiation skills, problem solving skills, stress management, creativity, etc. Managers get a practical approach in refining their plans of knowledge management for the benefit of the organization. Organizations can leverage the outcome of building skills to make the workforce future ready and in turn become competitive. Knowledge sharing initiatives and platforms like communities of practice can be put in place for knowledge sharing and skill development. So this paper reviews tacit knowledge sharing largely in industry space, whereas the impact of tacit knowledge sharing needs to be researched in other areas as well, including other cultures, because culture plays a big role in this whole process. A limited sample size and cross-sectional nature of the data was considered. So longitudinal research approach can be adopted for future studies. This was a study based on quantitative research. Future studies can be conducted based on qualitative methods as well. The role of organizational culture and senior leadership could be investigated in future studies too. So I conclude here, and I'm open for any questions.
I just want to know, you are from BTech background or a PhD background?
Basically a mechanical engineer.
Okay, actually your presentation was very good, and the topic is also very good. And rather than the topic, the approach of your presentation and also the slides and all the other informations are perfectly fine.
Thank you
Now,
so much.
to be added few more good points, if you can target a good journal, as because your review topic is very fine, and this time the journal is once this type of topics.
Okay.
If you can elaborate more, like as you have said that some qualitative points of view, you can include some of the points. You may include your qualitative methods.
Okay.
Then you may submit your extended version to a good journal. Very good approach you have followed. All the best.
So
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you for your guidance. I will really give it a thought. Thank you so much.
And one more point that you have taken near about 250 person's view regarding your data set and all.
Yeah,
kindly
that's right.
include minimum above 500.
Sure, I will do that. Yes.
Okay, minimum one institute or one university can be taken care of.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we may go forward. Thank you. Next presentation, please.
Thank you, Pawan sir. Now moving for our next presentation. The next presenter is Ujjwal Vishwas, and he's presenting on multimodal peripheral alerts to improve teaching learning for blended classrooms. The presenter, you may please start the presentation.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Ujjwal Vishwas from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Guwahati, Assam, India. In this proposed work, we did a multimodal peripheral alert to improve teaching learning for blended classroom. The goal is to enhance teaching learning using timely warning and alert to student as well as a class teacher. There are many challenges, very important of the classroom alert. A classroom alert can be a real-time feedback for the teacher, and it helps to identify student who requires assistance, and also it helps teachers to customizing the lesson and also tackle the poor student in a blended classroom systems. However, there are some research challenges to provide a real-time alert or warning to student and teachers. The studies are limited to integrate real-time alert for classroom use and even for real-time decision making to enhance quality of teaching learning. Existing literature have not considered alert modalities for real-time use. To address these challenges, we propose the multimodal peripheral alert for blended classroom system. Our system assumptions and the design goals are as follows. We assume that the classroom will be a blended classroom system with a classroom server and a Wi-Fi facility for a communication medium. And also, it will alert teacher using two devices. One is a smartphone and a smart band. And it will alert to see to the classroom status of a teacher. And student get alert based on the performance state. Here we assume the states are critical, likely to be critical, and normal. The proposed system are as follows. Here we consider several data of a student performance. These two are for real-time use. The first one, if the particular course data or performance data is available, or otherwise we'll use the past school or college data to predict the identified state, like we previously talked about, that the normal, likely to be critical, and a critical category student. Here also we have partitioned the timing of the alert for a critical student. For a critical student, the timing will be T, and for the normal student, it will be delayed up to 3T time. And we have also partitioned the alert based on the login time alert scheduling or logout time alert scheduling. Basically, login time means the start of the class, and logout time means the end of the class session. And during the class session, there are three kind of alert for a student. And similarly, for a teacher also, we decide which device will be selected for a particular alert during the class session. So the teacher's practical duties are to deliver lecture and to continue or not disturbing teacher. We use a peripheral device is alert scheme. Now for validation of our system, we have used a prototype designed and studied or involved both the teachers as well as students to validate the system. In our system prototype was tested using a 12 teacher and 13 student. We partitioned the 16 alert or notification in a 3 times slot for optimizing the number of alert during the class session. Some alert should be sent to the student during at the starting of the class session. There are 8 number of alerts we assume and we send to the student to motivate or aware about their difficulties. And now also for the during the class session, here also 6 alert for class teachers. These alerts should be a peripheral alert as well as the smartphone alert. At the end, we'll use another two. Total 16 alerts should be provided for the class teacher. Similarly, for the student also, the starting of the class session, during of the class session, and at the end, total number of alert we use 16 for our prototype evaluation. Now for the further validation, we also collect the ratings from the teachers about their perception about the system as well as student. Now, these are the questions that we asked you after the prototype and evaluation of the system. We got highest 4.67 ratings out of 5, and here we see the minimum with a 3.58. And for student, we got minimum of 3.77 and 4.68 maximum values. And this shows that our features and all other the techniques rated by the teachers with a very high scale. Now for the further investigation of the system, we also validated by using some open-ended question to the teacher as well as the student. Now for the teachers, there are 7 statements, and for student there are 8 statements. All the teachers agreed that the peripheral alert teacher will reduce alert fatigue. And in the case of a student, 92.30% student user decided that the intelligent features are useful in classroom teaching learning. In conclusion, empirical results gives a positive indication of the acceptability and the need of the peripheral alert in classroom system. We observe the system is efficient based on our user feedback, and further research is needed to refine the system for real-time use. Thank you.
Okay, Ujjwal, I just want to know that what type of ML methods you have incorporated here.
Sorry?
What actually you have mentioned about ML methods, machine learning methods. Hello.
Yes. In this work, basically, we proposed a method, and initially we tested with SVM and decision tree used to characterize the student, but we did not rectified all others machine learning and algorithm because it needs further study and further data. We are working now on that.
Okay. Can you please come to your diagrammatic format? The diagrammatic format is very good and very well designed.
Yes.
Not the prototype where the diagrams clearly you have mentioned how the process flow actually is going.
Yes, this is a process.
Yes, this
actual
one. How you are doing the triggering alert? You have mentioned triggering alert also. How you are doing that?
The initial idea was like triggering alert based on three categories: at the start of the class, and the end of the class, and the real time. In our prototype, we shown that there are three kind of alert. Why we are doing like that? Basically, we are trying to optimize the number of alert during the lecture.
One minute, sir. Okay, sir. Very nice work you have done. Very nice work. And this type of work can be also extended to a good journal also, as you are from IIT background. Very good work you have done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for submitting a good paper in this conference. We may go forward to the next paper presentations, please.
Okay, thank you for the great presentation. And now moving to our next presenter, Hardik J. Prajapati, and he's presenting on performance evaluation of heart disease disorders diagnosis using intelligent supervised machine learning classifiers. So you please start your presentation.
Harsh, is this the last presentation, or after that also some presentations are there?
There are some more presentations as well.
But no one is there.
Hello.
Good afternoon, actually, we allotted the time slot for the presentation, so they are joining by their own time slot. So.
Okay.
My slides are visible or not, sir?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes. My research paper on performance evaluation of heart disease disorder diagnosis using intelligent supervised machine learning classifiers. I am PhD scholar, and my second author is Associate Professor Dushan B. Rathod sir from Sakarchand Patel University. This is outlines, introduction, problem statement, literature review, proposed architecture, implementation tools, data set description, conclusion, future and references. First one, introduction. Data mining is the process to extract information from a data set and transfer into understable structure. Heart disease is one of the most common diseases nowadays, and early diagnosis of such a disease is crucial task for many health workers to prevent death patients for such a disease. My research focus on trying to detect the possibilities of heart disease at an early stage. With the help of data mining techniques, doctors will be able to make the future predictions. The data mining techniques and predictions model are responsible for making accurate prediction if a patient is likely to get a heart disease in the near time. If we can identify the patients who are vulnerable to heart disease in the future, then doctors can take appropriate action to prevent to the help to the patient. This is the problem statement. Heart plays significant role in living organisms. Diagnosis and prediction of heart-related disease require more precision, perfection, and correctness because little mistake can occur. Fatigue problems or death. The problem, there is essential need of prediction system for awareness about the disease. The machine learning is the branch of AI. It provides a prestigious support in the predicting any kind of event. We take training from the natural events. Major challenges is how to extract the information from the data because the amount very large, so the some data mining and machine learning techniques can be used. Also, the expected outcome and scope of this project is that if disease can be predicted, then early treatment can be given to the patients, which can reduce the risk of life and save the life of patients. My research objective is to apply the field of data science and analysis in the medical sector to help the doctor and healthcare professionals over the world by providing them with meaningful insight and prediction that that they can rely upon. I also intend to compare various algorithms like Navy-based decision tree, RF, KNN, etc., and contrast the result of this algorithm against each other. Next, this is the literature review. I have referred these papers. First one is data. The first paper is heart disease prediction using data mining algorithms. in this paper, the convolution
Well,
CNN.
it's first slide actually, sir.
Hello.
Have you changed the slide?
Hello. Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, yeah, we can see your just first slide actually. It's not moving actually. Yes, now it is. Yes.
Yes. Uh, in first paper, the CNN method is used uses structured data to determine early heart disease risk. In this paper, author has achieved 85% with use of CNN method. The second paper is cardiac arrest disease prediction system using classification algorithm. They have done the database through multiple machine learning algorithm and tested accuracy by predicting cardiac disease with suggested modified random forest technique. They were able to attain a maximum accuracy of 86.84%. The suggested approach performs as well in real time, and accuracy of the system may be improved by collecting the additional data using deep learning and CNN techniques. Third paper is hybrid approach for cardiac disease prediction using machine learning techniques. In this paper, efficient categorization of healthcare dataset was and continues to be key machine learning topic. This study looked at variety of classification technique, including LR, adaptive boosting, and multiple objective evolutionary fuzzy classifiers. By this paper, majority voting had accurate result of 80.20%. Fourth paper is cardiac disease diagnosis using machine learning algorithm. The accuracy for distinct machine learning algorithms measure in this study, and accuracy they have found 87% is using KNN. Fifth one, robust cardiac disease diagnosis and prediction, a novel approach based on significant features and ensemble learning model. In this paper, they have used uh, we suggest using a novel strategy for early cardiac disease prediction that includes machine learning algorithm. The paper's main goal is to uncover correlation based characteristics that can add in providing reliable prediction outcomes. Accuracy of this proposed model was 85.43%. Sixth one, cardiac disease diagnosis and prediction model based on model ensemble. In this, they have used SVM and ANA, and they have make a hybrid model, and they have obtained accuracy of 87%. This is the seventh paper. In this, they have used random forest, SVM, and KN classification algorithm. They have achieved 85%.
Sorry to interrupt. Please come to your work.
Okay, sir.
You have done rather than actually we are having short of time.
Yes, this is the proposed architecture. In this, the dataset are divided into training dataset and testing dataset. In training dataset, outlier will be removed, and then we apply NBKNN LOR algorithm. Then we have test achieve a test model and test dataset which are compared with test model and compare, and we have got a result. This is the implementation tool, Jupyter Notebook with Python 3.8 and Anaconda 4.8.3. This is the KNN classification report and found accuracy in with precision, recall, and F1 score. This is the KNN confusion matrix. This is the accuracy chart. We have used NB, LOR, and KNN. With NB algorithm, we have found achieved 78% accuracy. With LOR 82 and KNN 84% of accuracy. This is the data set description. These 14 are attributes: age, sex, type of chest pain, blood pressure, fluoroscopic coloration, angina caused by experience, These are 14 attributes we have used in our algorithm. This is the conclusion. The Navy-based classifier KNN and other classification model were used to assess an outcome of 3 supervised data mining technique used to a data set in this study to predict the probability of patient acquiring heart disease to decide which method is most accurate. All of these algorithms are performed on the same data set. As consequences, Navy-based classifier at 78%, while KNN has 84 percentage accuracy level in predicting heart disease patient. In the future, the developed system and machine learning classification algorithm might be utilized to predict or diagnose different illness. Other machine learning techniques might be utilized to expand or improve the work in heart disease research automation. These are the reference paper. Thank you, sir.
What are the classes actually you have used? Attributes. Can you please showcase the attributes of your data set?
Yes, sir.
These are the general attributes you have taken.
Yes, sir.
From where you have taken these attributes?
From my review paper, different review papers.
No, I'm asking you the dataset link from where the dataset has been taken. It's not
So
clearly
these data sets are we have received from authorized hospital.
But where the link? Please mention the link.
Okay, sir.
And what are the best classifiers you have used?
Yes, sir.
The classifiers name, please. You have used naive-Bayes classification, and what are the other classifications you have used?
KNN algorithm, sir.
Okay, which one is the best one you have thought that in your experiments? Which one came best?
KNN algorithm.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you for the presentation. We may go forward to the next presentation, please.
Thank you for your great presentation. I'm moving to our next presenter, Sarnam Venkata Amrut, and he's presenting on automatic documents categorization using NLP. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. So both of us want to present. Actually, we are 2 members. So
Okay.
can both of us present or only one have to present?
No, both of you can present.
Okay.
Just let me know about your name. So I can write it down.
Yeah. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. Good afternoon,
Yes,
everyone.
it's visible.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tejasvi. My teammates are Prakya and Amrit. We worked on this under the guidance of Dr. M. Sunita. Our topic for this is automatic documents categorization using NLP. Coming to our problem statement, generally manual documents categorization may be highly detailed, but it takes a lot of time. So due to the complexity of the manual process and the availability of huge amount of documents, it leads to more time consumption and also human errors. So to overcome this, it's better to use automatic documents categorization. And here we are using deep learning models to categorize documents into predefined categories. Over to you, Amrit.
Good afternoon, sir. Coming to the objective, our main objective is to assign the data to a class or category based on its context and to may reduce the use of BERT as a default on by comparing with other models. So for that, what we have done is we pre-processed the data set by formatting the data into data frames and cleaning the data by eliminating the stopwords and then finally applying of tokenization. So for this, we have the pre-trained models better in ExcelNet. So we have fine-tuned them using the libraries PyTorch and TensorFlow, sir, for classification of documents. Yes, we can go to next slide. Coming to the outcomes, so we have classified the documents based on their categories. After that, while we are fine tuning, we observed that both ExcelNet and BERT have the similar accuracy, but BERT performed more than ExcelNet, sir. Next one. So a lot of learning approaches has been applied for text categorization, sir. So in that, these are some of the approaches, sir. But using pre-trained models has given us more task like more accuracy. So for this, we have used it preferred to use better and ExcelNet, sir, due to their accuracy and as they are pre-trained on large data sets. So for this data set, we have considered BBC full text documents. So which we have considered from Kaggle, sir. Next.
Coming to the architecture diagram, here when tokens are passed through the embedding layer of the ExcelNet model, they will be transformed into vector representations. When it passes through each intermediate layer, transformation will change, and after applying the mean pooling, it will provide one vector representation. And when it is passed to the fully connected layer of the BERT model, it provides prediction.
So coming to this, first the documents are formatted by formatting the data into data frames and cleaning the data by eliminating the stopwords alphanumerical characters. And then the data is processed by tokenization and padding. So the pre-processed data will be splitting on training and testing data. So on the training data, we'll be applying the pre-trained ExcelNet model. On the testing data, we'll be applying the fine-tuned model. Then we get, after predicting, we get the labels and metrics.
This is the algorithm for our ExcelNet model. Here we consider input as the training and test data set and labels. And we consider the max sequence length as 128. We use sentence piece tokenizer to tokenize the sentence into a list of tokens. If the length of the token list is longer than the max sequence length that we consider, then we will trim it. Else they are post padded with zeros until they have the max sequence length of tokens. Then adding of CLS tokens at the starting and end with SCP tokens. Each input token is then passed to the embedding layer and then transformed into vector representations. The embedding vectors are then transformed every time it transfers through the each layer of the 12 intermediate layers. And finally, when the test data is passed through the fully connected layer, it will provide the prediction as the output. These are the implementation steps that we did for our project. First, we installed and imported all the necessary libraries like PyTorch and TensorFlow. Then we loaded the data set into Colab and read the data. Then we done the data processing, first by formatting the data into data frames, then encoded the data into labels into numerics and removed the extra characters and the stopwords. Then we converted the list format, then labels as index and encoded the text with CLS and SCP tokens. Here we used ExcelNet tokenizer for this. Then we splitted the data into training and testing data. We used ExcelNet base case pre-trained model for this ExcelNet. We loaded that ExcelNet model. Then we used the training data to fine tune this model and finally evaluated the model and we acquired evaluation metrics. So we use this model to predict the labels and it displays the expected labels. These are the results we got for our project. This is our training data set and this is the summary of the documents that we have in the project. Here we passed a set of documents and we stored this in CSV format, and for each document we got the predicted label. This is the result analysis for both the BERT and ExcelNet model. Here for us, for BERT, we got 0.96 accuracy, and for ExcelNet, we got 0.97. So we conclude that though there is not a huge difference between BERT and ExcelNet model, the ExcelNet model slightly outperforms BERT model. So for document categorization, it is better to use XLNet model than BERT
From
models.
BTech background.
Sir?
Are you from BTech background?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Why you have chosen BART and Excellent?
Actually, we wanted to use pre-trained models rather than fully developed models. So we consider first BERT, and for our mini project, we did BERT project. After that, we saw that XLNet is more better. So we tried to apply the same one on XLNet, and when we applied it, we got that XLNet is better performing.
What is the future plan for this project?
Actually, we applied both on BBC News dataset, and for future work, we want to apply for some other dataset, not so because BBC News dataset is already used for different models. We want to use it for new dataset like patents.
Okay. And if in your dataset few informations are missing, then how you are handling the missing data?
Actually, from the data we consider it is just Word documents,
Okay,
no
okay,
missing data.
okay. These points need to be taken care of or need to be written while
Okay.
you'll be showcasing your data informations by adding star mark.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, your project as a BTech student is very good. All the best. We can move
Okay.
forward to the next presentation, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Our next presenter is Great Charan, and he's presenting an IoT mobile sustainable solution for smart shopping experience.
So
You
can you
may
please make
start your presentation.
Sujit Singh as presenter?
Yes, can you present? You're instead of it's Rugved.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So our project is a smart shopping experience enabled by real-time computer intelligence and IoT. Uh, so our objective here was to use the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence to address the issue of overcrowding and mayhem at the checkout counters in the supermarket. As you know, when people go to grocery stores and supermarkets at the billing counters, scanning of the products and the payment is very slow sometimes. So to address that problem, this project was there. And additionally, this project will also help in inventory management and will prevent theft as well. Our motivation was that Internet of Things is transforming peoples by connecting common objects. So we thought that grocery store is a place where most people go on a everyday basis for their daily needs. So why not make something using IoT to bring ease to the people's life and like when they're going to shopping without the hassle of chaos and all. So our methodology here is on a shopping cart, as you can see here, Arduino will be set up with RFID readers and tags, and the tags will be on the products. So when a person will put an item in his cart, the RFID reader will read the items and display the total cost on an LCD connected to the Arduino board. The supermarkets will be also connected, the shelf will be connected with cameras which will be scanning these QR codes on top of each and every product. So when a person takes out an item out of the shelf, it will create a virtual bin, adding this product to the customer's bill. Then this facial recognition camera on top of every shelf will add a face to the bill so that there's no like uh, product is not misplaced or something, like no like bills are not mismatched. These are the results for the RFID part, like how the distance and time will be affected. We are using for the QR code on the item for item recognition. We are using two Python libraries. These are ZBar and OpenCV. Uh, as you know, these are the results for the Z bar and OpenCV, and as we can see here, that Z bar is much faster than OpenCV, as it gives optimum precision with excellent efficiency, and that's why it is employed in the industries and all. After this, we did a multi-scanning result. Like first, we took 6 items, scanned each and every QR code, then remove one item, and then scan each and every QR code, and then the customer recognition takes place. So this is the result for QR code scanning with the Z bar for all the 6 products, then removing one product, and then the customer recognition takes place, like it's identifying each and every person using their face. People can be used People can be identified using the facial recognition algorithms in pics, films, or real time. Facial recognition takes place in basic steps, like a snapshot or video of your face is used to capture a picture of your face. Your face could be seen alone or in a crowd. Your photographs could be shown, you are staring straight ahead or almost in a people. The geometry of your face is read by facial recognition software. The distance between your eyes as well as the distance from your forehead to your chin are important considerations. Your facial signature is compared to a database of known faces using a mathematical algorithm. A decision has been made. Your face print might match to one in a database or the facial recognition systems. Our conclusion is that to use this type of smart shopping solution, it would provide a uh, helpful solution for the clients to eliminate the inconvenience that they regularly experience while shopping, because the items can be scanned quickly and directly placed in the cart. So there will be no manpower required for the physical scanning of products and generating bill at the cash counter. So a person can just take the item, put it in his cart, or just take out an item, as a bill will be generated digitally after reading the QR code, and the person just can pay and leave the supermarket without any hassle. Cameras with facial recognition algorithms will help with billing and will prevent theft, as well as reduce the likelihoods of things being assigned to others clients. As well as if a person picks an item and keeps it in an other shelf, it will be easier to find that item as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. But one point to note it down, as because it's a presentation, you have to only showcase very few points rather than explaining the same on the slides. Just put the main points and explain your points. And also you have used somewhere capital letters. Please don't use capital letters while presenting the same.
Okay, sir.
The technicality is concerned, it's fine, but try to add these points also on your slides. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All the best. We can move forward to the next presentation, please.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you for the presentation. And the next presenter is Devant Kumar, and he's presenting on design and implementation of wireless optical link using OOP modulation.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I am audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Is my screen visible? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Devant Kumar, and I am a student of NIT Warangal in EC department. Today, I am presenting a paper, and my paper name is Design and Implementation of Wireless Optical Link using on-off key modulation under the guidance of KLB Sai Prakash, sir. This is my flow of presentation, and come to the introduction part. You know that in last few years the demand of wireless communication has been increasing in very fast manner. So for connecting these more wireless devices, we have like more bandwidth, which is not possible by a radio frequency spectrum. So to move on higher frequency spectrum, which is a optical frequency spectrum. Optical frequency spectrum have a three bands like infrared, visible light, and ultraviolet. So Li-Fi or light fidelity is a like technology which use the visible light spectrum for data transmission. This technology is introduced by a German physicist called Hurler Thars when he deliver a lecture in TD Global Talk in 2011. This is my objective, like implementing a Li-Fi system with the help of LED bulb and photo detector and transmitting data from one PC to another PC and calculating bit error rate for different LED brightness level and for different distance between transmitter and receiver. Come to the merits and demerits part of Li-Fi. Li-Fi have like several merits over Wi-Fi, like high speed, better capacity, better security, high efficiency, low cost, easily available, and safe for health. It have also like license-free bandwidth. Along with merits, it have some demerits also like shorter range, anomalous issue, interference, high path loss. Presence of light is must for data transmission. Come to the application part. So Li-Fi have a better application compared to Wi-Fi because it have a like a wide frequency spectrum compared to Wi-Fi. So you can use in hospital, airplanes, defense, educational purpose, traffic light. And we also know that like Li-Fi is not create any electromagnetic interference. So you can also use the Li-Fi in place where RF is limited or restricted, like such as sensitive plants. We can also use Li-Fi technology in underwater application because light propagate in water easily, but RF wave can't propagate inside water. Come to the literature survey part. In literature survey part, we have mainly discussed about the modulation technique using Li-Fi technology. So basically, we use some modulation technique Li-Fi for higher bitrate and better performance. These modulation technique are single carrier modulation technique, multi-carrier modulation technique, and color shift key. In single carrier modulation technique, we are mainly discuss about on-off key, PPM, PAM, BPSK, QPSK, and others. But in single carrier modulation technique, we have like one problem. Like if you increase the data rate from like a certain limit, then it's affected by some non-linear singular distortion and inter-symbol interference. So for avoid this problems, you move on multi-carrier modulation technique. Like in multi-carrier modulation technique, we mainly discuss about OFDM technology because it provide higher data rate, higher spectral efficiency, and potential increased transmission efficiency. But it have a like some problem like it's affected by PFR. Sorry, uh, it have like more system complexity. Come to the color shift key modulation technique. It is based on the intensity modulation scheme and it offer better bit rates and higher spectral efficiency. But it's have a higher system complexity and it also requires color sequencing. And from a different papers, we have like created a comparison table between different modulation technique and different parameters like bit rate, power efficiency, spectral efficiency, bit duration, and system complexity. Come to the my experimental setup. This is my experimental setup. This is like transmitter part and this is a receiver part. And for better understanding of data transmission, we can go through this block diagram. We can see like first of all, you collect our input data and feed to the Arduino. And Arduino, you convert our data into the binary information, and this binary information pass through the LED in form of 1 and 0. We have also used the LED driver to protect our LED from voltage and current fluctuation from our power supply. After that, our data is fed to the channel in form of light intensity according to data. Like if one is like one for a particular duration, if data is 0, then it's the LED is off for same duration. After that, our data is detected by photo detector in form of light and passed to the Arduino. In Arduino, we have set a comparator and set a threshold value, and according to this threshold value, if our detected data is greater than threshold value, then its data is 1 and otherwise 0. And after this, our detected 1 and 0 data means binary data converted to the original message signal. This is our like final output data. So for a better understanding of our like data communication, serial data communication, we have also draw a flow chart. This is our transmitter side flow chart and this is our receiver side flow chart. Come to my like hardware setup for our results. Like this is my practical hardware setups. In this we have used 2 PC, 2 Arduino, 1 LED and 1 photo detector. And in this part we have like sent some data from our transmitter side to receiver side and calculated how many bits are affected in between communication. So from this data we have plotted different results. In first part we have plotted results in between bit error rate value and LED different LED brightness level, and it also vary a distance between transmitter and receiver like 10, 15, 20, and 25 centimeter. And you can see that like if you increase our distance from 10 to 25 centimeter, then our bit rate is also increased. But if increase our LED brightness level from lower value to higher value, then our then bit error rate is decreased. So you can say that like bit error rate is directly proportional to distance and inversely proportional to LED brightness level. And we also conclude that like if you choose our LED brightness level according to our distance between transmitter and receiver, then we can minimize our bit rate. Like if our distance is large, then we can put LED brightness level high, and if distance is low, you can put our LED brightness level low. In second part, we have find a like relation of bit error rate to threshold value of photo detector for different value of LED brightness level. In this LED brightness level, we put in two parts, like for lower value of LED brightness level and higher value of LED brightness level. For lower value of LED brightness level, if we increase our threshold value to low value to high value, then our bit rate is increasing. But if you in higher value of LED brightness level, if you increase our threshold value to low value to high value, then bit rate decrease for a certain value of threshold value. After that, this certain value of like particular threshold value, if you increase our threshold value, then bit rate is also increased. So from these two graphs, you can say that like if you choose our threshold value of photo detector according to light LED brightness level and light present in surrounding, then we can also minimize our bit error rate. So come to the summary and future work. In this paper, the relationship between bit error rate value and some parameters such as distance between transmitter and receiver and different brightness level of LED and threshold value of photo detector is analyzed. But in future, with the help of these results, we have planned to implement transmitter and receiver on a Spartan 3 FPGA kit, and also study the performance of on-off key with along BPSK and QPSK modulation scheme. This is my references, and finally, thank you. If any question,
Yes,
ask.
very good work you have done.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
can you just let us know that if have you implemented the whole work, na?
Hmm.
What is the total cost of the systems if you are including that both
Uh,
systems and all?
okay, like in like my in this work, I have used like only Arduino, so cost around 2 to 3,000 maximum. But if you like replace our Arduino to a Spartan like FPGA kit, then maybe cost will increase.
And I think definitely the accuracy patterns also to be increased.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Yeah, because you can introduce our modulation technique in FPGA kit, but it's very difficult and complex to introduce our modulation technique in Arduino because this feature is limited.
Okay, okay. Very good work you have done. Actually, you are doing PhD or MTech?
Just I have completed my MTech, but I am like join a like a company Qualcomm in hardware. So I also want to like complete my like remaining work like related to FPGA.
Okay, okay. Very, very good work. You may check my papers also on Li-Fi.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
paper
definitely,
might be
sir.
helpful for you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you,
Okay,
sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone, for your better
you're
suggestion.
welcome. We may go forward to the next paper, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can I stop my
Thank you
sharing?
for the presentation.
Okay,
And
thank
now
you, sir.
moving for our next presenter is Ika Eze, and she is presenting on emotional intelligence as a predictor of success in e-learning engagement during COVID-19, a case of Veritas University, Nigeria.
Yeah,
And
yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible. You may share your screen, please.
Oh my God, I hope I can share the screen.
you able to share your screen? Otherwise, I have your presentation, so I
Yeah,
can
please.
share it.
Yeah, can you share it? Thank you.
Okay, no worries. I'll share it. There it is.
Yeah, thank you. So presenting emotional intelligence as a predictor of success in e-learning, and this is a case study of Veritas University in Nigeria, where I lecture myself, and we have 4 authors to this paper. It's a research that we conducted 2 years ago. Please, next slide. Hello, next, right? Oh my God. Yeah. So the background of the study, we are looking at COVID-19 and the incidence of COVID-19 and how it has constructed the world into a new norm of doing things such as virtual work, visual transactions, visual counseling, and visual schooling via online teaching and learning, which this paper focuses on expressively exploring the impact of emotional intelligence on students' e-learning outcome. Yes, next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. Oh, sorry, was it? Oh, okay. I better pardon. Maybe I use mine because okay. Oh, it's still the same thing I have. Could I just go and use my own? Let me see. Or let me use the slide that I have. So, my God. Yeah. So prior to COVID-19, e-learning hasn't been.
If you are facing any issue for your paper presentation, you may just brief us what actually you have done.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let me brief you on what I have done or what we have done. Okay, so prior to COVID-19, what we have done is the fact that e-learning, it's been there. It's a practice, but not very common. But COVID-19 brought as a new reality, whereby whether you like it, many universities here in Nigeria and across the world were subjected to take up e-learning activity as the main pattern or practice of teaching and learning. And actually it brought a lot of stress, shock, anxiety for students and for lecturers. So we went into this study to see how did students cope and what kind of strategies do they need in order to be able to adjust to this new normal. And so this study was focusing on that. And from all that we have seen, we looked at the fact that the conceptual framework of emotional intelligence is an everyday skill, starting from the different theories. For example, Seva Maya has told us that this is an ability that one needs in order to be able to gauge your own your own activities and emotions and how you react to realities. And the same way, Goldman says that it is also an assessment of emotional and social competencies comprising of 5 elements. And of course, Bear Online also sees it as an interrelated emotional competence skill. So out of these 3 theories, we were able to coin out what we did, looking at it from the point of how does self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, interpersonal relationship, and cultural awareness impact on the learner. So from all of this is what we were looking at. These 5 components, they might not be the only components of emotional intelligence, but that is what we examine. And we gather data, it's a qualitative research. We gather data from second-year students. Why is it the 200 level? Because they were in the first year when we had the lockdown. They were subjected to this. And because it is a new experience for them, and it's also their first year in the university, we try to limit this study to their level. So data was collected from 9 respondents for 1-to-1, and there was also 3 focus group discussion, making the total of 39 in number. And thematic analysis was used to look at the relational voices that the student presented in narrating their story. From the result, it's a bit clear or more dominant that majority of them were using self-awareness, such as they were expressing what is their preference in learning and what is their motivation, their integrity level, frustration, and also affirmation that after all, e-learning provided them the space to still learn in spite of the shutdown. And so at the end of it all, we concluded saying that Well, emotional intelligence is something that helps the student. Maybe let me just read one aspect of their narrative in terms of their preference. Like one of the participants said, I wasn't particularly excited about it because I am not comfortable with it. I prefer to be in a class listening to the lecturer. So when I heard we were resuming online, that's also waking up early and making sure that I have done all the chores. I don't know how I will cope. Another participant said, I really didn't understand very well the lecture that is offered online. Naturally, myself, if I want to study, I want to receive a lecture. I love it when I could see the lecturer's face, the way his or her mouth moves and have eye contact. And so, there are different positions that the student also express. Particularly, another student in dealing with frustration said, for me, it wasn't really okay because I was literally struggling. Because it's not my kind of learning, sometimes I get bored just looking at the screen. It's boring, but I have to cope. At least I have to be present to mark attendance. Sometimes there is no light. Sometimes you run out of data. It was not easy. And here we could see it very well. This is something that is common and ran through many of the narratives. Light situation, they are not always assured of light. You might be in the middle of a class and light goes off, and so your screen goes blank, and it's frustrating. And sometimes you don't have enough resources to buy the data. So for them, it's difficult. But at the same time, under self-management, some of them would tell you that they manage still, that it wasn't the end of it. Like one participant said, for the online classes, we're stress-free. All you need to do was to have data. Yes, that is if you do. So you could connect to the platform and there you go. You don't feel the stress of being in school. And another one said, I would say I really managed to cope. I had to figure out how to combine both school and house chores. I gave it my best shot while doing the online studies, though it wasn't comfortable, but if you know what you want, you will try to adapt to the situation. So their narrative varies from all this, saying how they struggled, how they managed, how they are frustrated. And but it's interesting in terms of cultural awareness to hear what they are saying. And some of them, what they said here is that it is a new norm, is a new way of learning, and they struggle with it, but they managed. And some of their extras say, I say this is a new experience. Learning online is certainly boring. I have to struggle to adapt to this new way of learning. I felt anxious. Another one said, the online learning does not really work for me. It does not appeal to me. I love learning in a social environment where I get inspiration by interacting with others. And lastly, someone said, to be honest, if you are not a fast learner, you won't understand anything. There was a time my coursemate called me for about 2 hours, and all I did was to explain the previous lecture to her and also how to submit assignment. So when take into consideration all that they have said, e-learning is stressful, it's demanding, it's also stress-free, according to them, which makes it both stressful and unstressful. But in all, what they are trying to say, what they portrayed was the fact that emotional intelligence facilitated e-learning, which enabled them to handle the challenges, enjoy it when they did enjoy it. And so all of this, what we are saying or what we are concluding is the fact that, well, we recommend that educators intensify effort to help students develop effective attributes of e-learning in order to be able to face everyday life challenges. And that does not remove the fact that we recognize that the study has some limitations. For example, this study was just collected, the data was collected from one university in Nigeria, and it's also a private university. Thus, we will propose that if further studies could be done, yes, it can be done by carrying out the same kind of study with a larger population. And also, maybe the methodology can also be expanded to include quantitative, or even a mixed method altogether. So that's what we are saying. And sorry that probably I'm not able to share this slide from my own side. Okay.
And very, very good presentation without any PPT you have given. Very good.
Thank
Clap
you.
for you. And I think you must be the faculty now over there in Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm in Nigeria. Yes, in Nigeria. Yeah.
Great presentation you have done on emotional intelligence. And definitely after COVID and on COVID, we can understand that as per the COVID restrictions are there. That is why we have to come for the e-learning and e-strategical learning, and also to take care of the students' health and our health also. E-learning and also online classes was taken care of that time. But slowly we are coming forward to the offline classes. And definitely I think this type of hybrid learning concept can bring more and more technicality in our education.
Yeah, thank you.
I have been given my email ID also for your kind information. Can you check the chat box?
Okay.
Can you please check the chat box?
The chat box. Oh my God, I don't know.
You don't know the chat box?
I don't know. I'm still also trying to e-learn it.
Don't worry. This time I think the COVID era will not go far. So e-learning will stop there. Okay.
Yeah.
No issues at all. All the best for the presentation. I think we can close the session over here. All the best. Thank you for listening all the papers from first. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and their contribution. I hope this session was informative enough. And we on behalf of whole team, we on behalf of whole team, thank you for support during this version and the previous version of the conference. And we will be happy to have you all in the eighth version of the conference in 2023. All the presenters will be getting their digital certificates to email within 2 working days. And further, all the papers have been already forwarded to the speaker. And the publication will be live within 5 to 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team ICT4SD from 22. And I also thank our session chair for chairing the session. And sir, there is a one token of appreciation from the team ICT4SD 2022 and the Global Knowledge Research Foundation.
Thank you very much, Harsh. You may send the screenshot or the PDF to my email ID also. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for your valuable presence again. And I may request you all to turn on your camera to get one quick snapshot for this conference.
Harsh, actually, my camera will not be coming up.
Okay.
That was the issue. Okay.
No issue.
Okay. Thank you very much for your interpretation, and thank you, Chika, also. Chika, you may switch on your camera.
Yeah, I've seen your email. I'll email you. Thank you.
Okay. You may drop me a message from your email ID.
I will do that.
You please copy the email ID. Otherwise, the email ID will go on.
I've already copied. I've copied it.
Okay. Thank you, and all the best.
Yeah, and you too.
Thank you, Harsh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.